Happy day students, welcome to class 9 physics. So, we are going to discuss about the chapter 10 gravitation. Students, in chapter 8 and 9, we have learnt about the motion of objects and force as the cause of motion. We have learnt that a force is needed to change the speed or the direction of motion of an object. We always observe that an object dropped from a height falls towards the earth. We know that all the planets go around the sun. The moon goes around the earth. In all these cases, there must be some force acting on the objects, the planets and the moon. Isaac Newton could grasp that the same force is responsible for all these forces. This force is called the gravitational force. So, in this chapter, we shall learn about gravitation and the universal law of gravitation. We shall discuss the motion of objects under the influence of gravitational force on the earth. We shall study how the weight of the body varies from place to place. We shall also discuss the conditions for objects to float in liquids. Topics to be covered: gravitational force or gravity, Newton's universal law of gravitation, properties of gravitational force, universal gravitational constant, Kepler's laws of planetary motion, Newton's second law and third laws, and gravitation, free fall, acceleration due to gravity, equations of vertical motion, mass and weight. Gravitational force of the earth or a gravity. A force is necessary to produce motion in a body. Body dropped from a height falls towards the earth. It indicates that the earth exerts a force of attraction on the body. In fact, the earth attracts all the objects towards its center. The force with which the earth pulls the object towards it is called the gravitational force of the earth or gravity. The gravitational force between the sun and the earth keeps the earth in uniform circular motion around the sun. The gravitational force of the earth is responsible for holding the atmosphere above the earth, for rain falling to the earth, for flow of water in the rivers, for keeping us firmly on the earth, for the revolution of moon around the earth, etc. The gravitational force between the earth and the moon causes tides in the sea. Think why tides are high during full moon and the new moon day. When it comes to closer, the moon which is attracts towards the earth because the tides which is makes heavier. Students, you can understand some few facts about lunar tides. The gravitational force of the moon is 1/10 millionth that of earth, but when you combine other forces such as the earth's centrifugal force created by its spin, you get tides. The sun's gravitational force on the earth is only 46% that of the moon, making the moon the single most important factor for the creation of tides. The sun's gravity also produces tides, but since the forces are smaller as compared to the moon, the effects are greatly decreased. Tides are not caused by the direct pull of the moon's gravity. The moon is pulling upwards on the water while the earth is pulling downward. Slight advantage to the moon, and thus we have tides. Whenever the moon, earth and sun are aligned, the gravitational pull of the sun adds to that of the moon, causing maximum tides. Spring tides happen when the sun and the moon are the same side of the earth, that is new moon, or when the sun and moon are opposite sides of the earth, we can say it is a full moon day. When the moon is at first quarter or last quarter phase, meaning that it is located at right angles to the earth sun line, the sun and the moon interfere with each other in producing tidal bulges, and tides are generally weaker. These are called neap tides. Offshore, in the deep ocean, the difference in tides is usually then less than 1.6 feet. The surf grows when it approaches a beach and the tide increases. In bays and estuaries, this effect is amplified. In the Bay of Fundy, tides have a range of 44.6 feet. The highest tides in the world are the Bay of Fundy in Nova Scotia, Canada. Because the earth rotates on its axis, the moon completes one orbit in our sky every 24 hours. We get two tidal peaks as well as two tidal troughs. These events are separated by about 12 hours. Since the moon moves around the earth, it is not always in the same place at the same time each day. So each day the times for high and low tides change by 50 minutes. The type of gravitational force that causes tides is known as tractive force. Newton's universal law of gravitation. Every body in the universe attracts every other body with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. You can see there is a two, if you are considering two planets, which is directly proportional to it, because the force of attraction between them and the distance between the two planets, it is inversely proportional to the force. The direction of the force is along the line joining the center of the two bodies. Let two bodies A and B of mass m1 and m2 are placed at a distance of r from each other. Let F be the force of attraction between the bodies. Then the force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of their masses. That means F is proportional to m1 into m2. And then the force of attraction is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That means F is inversely proportional to r square. Therefore, F is proportional to m1 into m2 by r square. We can say F is equal to G into m1 and m2 by r square. Here G is nothing but it is a proportionality constant, and G also we can say it is universal gravitational constant. Properties of gravitational force. Gravitational force is the weakest force in nature. It is an attractive force, it is a mutual force, and it is a central force. When we are talking about attractive force, unlike electrostatic and magnetic force, they are both attractive and repulsive. In mutual force, first body attracts the second body and the second body attracts the first body with equal force. It is a central force, means acts along the line joining at the center of the bodies. It is a mass and distance dependent. It obeys inverse square law. It is a long range force. It decreases with the distance as per inverse square law and becomes zero only at infinite distance, like electrostatic and magnetic force. It does not depend on the medium between the interacting bodies. There is no gravitational shielding. What is inverse square law? Inverse square law is in the sense that it is applicable to all bodies, whether the bodies are big or small, whether they are celestial or terrestrial. Inverse square law saying that F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance means, for example, that if D gets bigger by a factor of 6, F becomes 1 by 36 times smaller. Example 10.1. The mass of the earth is 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilogram and the top of the moon is 7.4 into 10 to the power of 22 kilogram. If the distance between the earth and the moon is 3.84 into 10 to the power of 5 kilometer, calculate the force exerted by the earth on the moon. So here the given constant G is equal to 6.7 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square kg inverse 2. The given data are here. The mass of the earth is considering 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilogram, and the mass of the moon m is equal to 7.4 into 10 to the power of 22 kilogram. And the distance between the earth and the moon, we have to convert the unit here. So d is equal to 3.84 into 10 to the power of 5 kilometer. So we need to convert into meter, so we have to multiply 1000. So 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8 meter. So the G also you know very well, 6.7 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square kg inverse 2. From basically Newton's law of gravitation, F is equal to G into m by t square. So given data, if you are substituting the value, you will get 2.01 into 10 to the power of 20 Newton. So thus the force exerted by the earth on the moon is 2.01 into 10 to the power of 20 Newton. Universal gravitational constant. G is equal to F into R squared by m1 into m2. The value of G is 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square kg inverse 2. The value of G does not depend on the medium between two bodies. The value of G is same throughout the universe and hence this name. Universal gravitational constant G is different from acceleration due to gravity small g. Therefore, correct symbol must be used accordingly. SI unit of G is Newton meter square kg inverse 2. If the two bodies of mass 1 kg each are separated by 1 meter from each other, then G is equal to F. Therefore, universal gravitational constant G is numerically equal to the force of gravitation which exists between two bodies of unit masses kept at a unit distance from each other. Gravitational force is the weakest force of all. If two bodies of mass 1 kg each separated by a distance 1 meter from each other, then F is equal to G is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton. Though the various objects on this earth attract one another constantly, they do not cause any visible motion because the gravitational force of attraction between them is very small. Imagine a situation on the earth if the objects continuously move towards each other due to gravitational force between them. When both the objects are very big, having very large masses, then the gravitational force of attraction between them extremely large. The gravitational force due to the earth on an object of mass 1 kg placed on the ground is 9.8 Newton. The gravitational force between the earth and the moon even at a larger distance is very large, and it is 2 into 10 to the power of 20 Newton.